Good morning, everyone. You're very welcome. Today, delighted to welcome Ken Finnegan. Ken is the MD of the new Greenfield Global facility in Portlaois, and the build has continued through COVID-19. Delighted to hear that. Thanks very much, Ken, today for taking the time out. I know you're very busy to keep to your schedule for the opening later in the year. So would you like to tell us kind of where things are at with Greenfield?
Sure, Bernie. And again, thanks again. And we're delighted to share our story with, our business community.
Yeah.
So look, I suppose Greenfield Global in Canada and the US have been deemed essential because of the products we produce. We're one of the largest producers of ethanol in the world. And so, our products are used extensively in, say, hand sanitizer formulation, and also the buffer blends that we're going to be producing in Portlaois will be used extensively in the vaccine formulation. So we're kind of attacking COVID from all directions.
Okay.
Hence, our site and all our facilities globally are deemed essential. So I suppose quickly, once the restrictions were put in place, we had to formulate a plan of how to maintain that safe distancing and safe work practices within our construction process. And our construction company, DPS Engineering, liaising with the Construction Industry Federation, CIF, I suppose developed those safety protocols. And now, I suppose we've had that opportunity to put those into practice over the last 8-9 weeks now. Yeah. And, these practices now will be rolled out to the construction industry, for using us as a reference site, that we've managed to maintain, the safe distancing, looked at how to reduce numbers on site by implementing, unsociable hour shift patterns, so that to spread the workforce throughout the 24-hour day.
And in fairness, the Construction Industry Federation were ahead of the curve. They were really out of the blocks quickly with their protocols. I think a lot of industries have looked to them for kind of guidance and benchmarking.
Absolutely, no, we've been very impressed and looked at that. It has been a great relationship between DPS Engineering and CIF in developing that protocol.
That's brilliant.
Part of the team to develop it.
Okay, and in terms of the employees that you have recruited, I assume they're working remotely and you're working online, Zoom meetings and the like with them. Yeah.
Yes, look, it's been a strange process, obviously onboarding new recruits remotely and online, and and so in a positive way, we always try and look at the positive in things. It's really helped in building the team bonding and the staff morale, and we've put in structures into each day so that we're getting great support from our US and Canadian colleagues as well in helping, online training and showing video training of processes within our other facilities worldwide. And so, look, it has been great, and there's great team bonding. We have managed to introduce maybe 5 staff members to site to join the commissioning team last week. After 7 weeks of training online, they were all enthusiastic and itching to get to site. So see that last week. And so they will actually double up as COVID officers on site. To help maintain that safe distancing. It has been amazing to watch, how that culture has set into the site, that contractors do manage and adapt to that safe distancing. The first few days you were having to constantly remind people, whereas now it's
second nature.
You step into their space, they're taking a step back, and it's just happening naturally. And it proves we all will adapt eventually.
We will. It's like second nature, and I find it very strange, even watching TV, if you see a group of people together, it's like that just doesn't look right, even though it's...
You've seen some of the images and beaches and...
Oh, I know, it's crazy, it's crazy. So in terms of the recruitment, you came to the jobs fair and you were, looking for staff. Have your plans for that or stalled, or are you still progressing as you had planned?
Not at all. It's hugely successful jobs fair, and we probably identified 70 to 80% of our target employees from the jobs fair.
Wow.
And so, look, we wanted to strike while the iron is hot. We'd identified those personnel, so we onboarded those as soon as was available.
Okay.
And then started that online training program.
Okay.
So that's continued. We're probably up to 14 at the moment. We have 6 more joining in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
Take us up to 20 people starting off in June. And then we gradually, I suppose, grow organically as we start into commercial production later this year.
And I know you had your launch date for July. Are you still planning to?
Yeah, look, I suppose it's a little bit. I'm probably determined to go ahead with that, albeit in a smaller scale. Unfortunately, our owners and CEO and senior management team from the US and Canada would most likely not be able to attend.
Yeah.
But I think we all need a good news story, and certainly the doors open to Greenfield Global Ireland in Portlaoise. I think that will.
It's positive. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Well, I'm sure they'll be there virtually in the new world of exactly. So then, following on from that, you have to go through your validation process, and then with planned production towards the end of the year. That's right.
I suppose so. Chemicals won't arrive on site until after July 10th. So that's why, we're going to, it's an opportunity for us to bring people into the facility before chemicals actually arrive. So we have the opening ceremony July 10th, and then the following week we can bring chemicals on site and we start our validation program. And then, as I said, then start commercial production September, October, depending on the products requested by our customer base.
So then, we were speaking earlier in terms of, new innovations or opportunities during this crisis. But you had mentioned the protocols you now have in place, kind of rock solid protocols moving forward.
That's right. It's simple things like one-way systems through the construction sites, unsociable hour shift pattern.
Yeah.
Spread the workforce throughout the facility. And they were just working in Pacific zones to maintain that safe distancing.
Yeah.
Also, I suppose on a commercial point of view, there's been a lot of upside. Obviously, our products are in huge demand globally.
I can imagine.
Ethanol, buffer solutions, and and obviously we're going to prioritize COVID projects. So COVID test kits, buffer solutions, going into vaccine formulation, hand sanitizers. So all. Because a lot of these products will be going on allocation, but we're going to prioritize any COVID-linked projects for our product.
Okay, so I can imagine during these times it's so beneficial to have a parent company in the States and Canada to kind of guide you through these kind of a crisis before you've even started.
Absolutely, we've had huge support from all our colleagues, and I suppose this is their first venture outside of North America into Europe. But look, there's huge enthusiasm there. We're a shining light within the organization, the first GMP plant.
Wow.
So we've had huge support, and there's a queue of people waiting to come over to see the site.
Wow, that's fantastic. And it's great to hear that it's still on track, because a lot of members have been asking me what's been happening with Greenfield Global and where is it at, and is it still going ahead, because people are just worried about, so many projects might be put on hold. But it's great to hear this positive story.
Absolutely. Look, in the early days, I recall going back to March 12th and that weekend, and I was personally getting desperate emails from local governments and health authorities in stricken countries in Europe, and desperately looking for our products, and could we get them sooner? And unfortunately, until Ireland is up and running, 4 to 6 week transit time across from Canada or the US.
Yeah.
So once Ireland is up and running, we'll be in a perfect position then to, we'll be a huge resource in the fight against COVID.
Right. So really, Greenfield Global will really take off from the get-go. There are silver linings, I suppose, with every crisis, and I love to see companies that kind of avail of those, because there's so many that may not have those silver linings.
And I suppose our customer base is, the blue chip biotech pharmaceutical companies. And one of the positives has been, in presenting, normally I would have used up a lot of carbon miles and air miles to travel the world to go and meet all these individual customers. Whereas now we're presenting online presentation of our new facility and the capabilities therein, and we're getting a global audience all on this one call. Everything from global procurement, global quality. So there's been a huge positive in that front, that you're getting in front of all the decision makers, make quick decisions, and things are happening much rapidly. So, you know, normally in the life science industry, it's a pretty slow selling process.
Okay.
We're seeing things, you know, being accelerated, and there's a huge effort in moving things along quicker than normal.
Yeah, I agree. The Zoom meetings and online, we're going to reduce our carbon footprint.
Yeah.
And it'll be a hybrid, I suppose, moving forward, of how we work.
We will. We'll have to maybe put some efficiencies in the Zoom meetings too, because the people are kind of, you know, still getting used to them, and there's a lot. Yeah. Wall to wall, your day can be full of
exactly, and it can get a little bit tiring. But so in terms of, I know you're a great supporter of local businesses as well, and you're keen to kind of connect with as many suppliers and people that can help you out.
It's a long way we say it. Look, we want to immerse ourselves in the local business community, and it's a long-term relationship that we have. And so, whenever possible, we've always tried to identify local businesses that, you know, we can work together and in partnership. We're here for the long term, and so it's worked out great so far, and we've been delighted with both our recruitment and our contractors, and so that experience has been excellent.
That's great. So listen, Ken, thanks very much for taking the time to talk to us, and really delighted to hear things are moving along as planned. Even in these very difficult times, you've managed to stay on track more or less. And thanks for taking the time today out of your busy schedule, and looking forward to your opening and seeing the good news stories right across the media.
Absolutely, Bernie, and thanks for all your support.
No worries. Thanks very much.
Great stuff. Thank you.